Good, bro.
Nothing, chilling. How was your week, man?
It was great, bro. It was great. I did not know like they celebrate Dr. Seuss week. Like they give him a whole week. Like I've been reading Dr. Seuss books all week.
A whole week.
His birthday today, but apparently.
One of the greatest authors of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Second behind J.K.
That's true.
Shout out to Harry Potter.
How was your week, bro?
Life changing.
That's what's up, bro.
Got a
Congrats on that new position, bro.
yes, new endeavor. Thank God every day, but got the job now. I got to grind.
Yeah.
So I'm humble and thankful, but it's just only the beginning.
That's
one stepping stone to being the best individual I can be. So, like I said, patience teaches you a lot of things. Life in general just teaches you a lot of things.
Yeah,
so I'm gonna keep living and strive to be the best individual that I can be.
That's what's up.
Each and every day, man.
Welcome to the PK Power Hour.
What's going on, y'all?
It's your host, Juan, my co-host, Big Al.
Big Al. You know what's been on my mind a lot lately?
What's that?
The society that we live in. It is such a contradicting one.
Yeah.
That is so. It's just crazy because a lot of principles and perspectives are out there that just make you think.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of what we believe in too as well kind of conflicts too as well, and it's just always interesting to see how people deal with that.
Yeah.
So when I look at the concept of contradiction, just contradicting in general,
yeah,
it's kind of like a necessary evil within life.
Man, I think it's like it's crazy because people they contradict themselves, but a lot of people don't even understand that they're doing it in that moment, and it's like you just said one thing the other day, now you're doing the exact opposite.
Exactly.
And like I think in our society, what we see a lot is like guys. I want the woman that's like not in the clubs, that's like on her shit, like she doing what she's supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But in reality, we always like do the fucking opposite,
Exactly.
And like vice versa for women.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like
what, and that's the interesting point that you bring up, because oftentimes people think they know what they want
until they get it, and then they don't want it.
Right, exactly.
So it's like,
how do you deal with that kind of stuff? And I look at it this way. I look at it as an experience, and I think because of how each and every experience that people have within their life
mm-hmm.
shapes their just perspective and outlook on everything. It starts with your parents, starts with your relationship with your siblings.
Yeah.
And then as you progress, you go into school, you form these friendships, you form these relationships, which leads you to form these certain outlooks you have on society.
Yeah.
So oftentimes, the concept of contradiction just comes because of what you've been surrounded by within society.
That's true. And like just piggybacking off of that, like I feel like people get it confused. Like in life, you're supposed to grow. So if your like thoughts and your like ideas change, that's
mm-hmm.
not contradicting yourself.
Right.
It just means that you're growing up, and now you got a new set of ideas.
Facts. Exactly.
So like you can't. You're like, oh, I said I would never do that, so I don't want to contradict myself. No.
Right.
So what, you gonna be a child? Like think like a child your whole
right.
life, or
exactly.
are you gonna grow up like?
There's a healthy level of contradiction.
It is.
That you can have, as long as you're not. Well, I'll look at it as this way. If you're not doing it on a consistent basis,
mm-hmm.
there's no basis as to what you're saying. There's no facts supporting
Not that's the thing.
Right.
A lot of people contradict themselves based off opinions.
Right.
So it's like, yeah.
And
that's another thing too. Like the contradictory people who contradict themselves and like give advice to others, and they can't ever like do what they're telling other people to do, and
right.
That's like, why am I supposed to listen to you?
Right,
like,
exactly.
You're in a worse position than me.
Exactly, kill the messenger.
Yeah,
and like I said, piggyback again off of what you're talking about with when it comes to opinions. Feelings aren't opinions.
No, they're not.
Feelings are far from the fact of things.
That's true.
I think that's what people feel like feelings are facts because you're so strong in them sometimes, oftentimes.
And you feel like, oh, I'm right, so I'm not changing shit.
Right, exactly.
I'm right.
Like I said, what works for you might not work for others. People, you have to. I heard a good quote the other day when it talks about just seeing the world in perspective from the different eyes of others.
Yeah, you have to.
You
that's how you understand like how you get to know people.
Right, exactly.
Because we're all different. Like people try to put everybody in a box, but every individual on God's green earth is different.
And that's why it's important to listen in a manner that's active. Don't listen for a response.
Yeah.
Listen to absorb, you take it in, and then you give a intellectual, knowledgeable response to it.
Yeah.
Because oftentimes you have people who shut out things that they necessarily agree with.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, that's always one thing I've always worked on as a person is to listen to others.
Yeah.
I'll listen to you.
Yeah.
I'll hear you. I'll hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Now, whether I agree with it or not,
and it's up to me.
It's up to myself.
Understand, like,
right,
and like take it how I need to take it.
Right.
I'm gonna take it one of two ways. Oh, they right, or I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
So I mean, but that's true. You gotta listen because they might be the reason you change, and it might help you.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
You can't like shut out people like that. And I agree with that. Like, that's how it's supposed to be.
To talk more onto about change. Change doesn't happen. Change isn't some illicit response.
No, it's not.
Change happens over the course of a sequence of
events.
Influential events.
Yeah, it has to be. It can't just be no regulars. It got to be life changing.
Exactly.
Like
so, it takes steps for a person to change. So when I look at that, somebody who's always been set in a certain type of way, you're always going to have a little bit of what you kind of used to be.
Mm-hmm.
But change doesn't, like I said, that's why when you look at the concept just of apologizing, you just have to sit back, realize what you did, and take time to change. Because you're not sorry immediately after you do
you're
something.
not sorry because it's still, I'm right.
Right.
I'm right. I'm not apologizing, but once you sit down and you just like think out of everything, and because you, in your mind, you can replay back everything that just happened. And you like, you take a step back and you gotta look. That's what separates people, like the people that work through relationships and like friendships.
Right.
They take a step back and look at the other person who's involved. Oh, how did they feel about this? Like, dang, I probably shouldn't have said that because they took it in a certain way and I didn't mean it that way.
Facts.
So
exactly. Like I said, we're not going to be perfect human beings. We're going to make our course of mistakes over our life. I look at a fresh incident that took place. You had that incident with the San Francisco Giants CEO. Mm-hmm. How he had the incident with his wife out in public, and they elicited a quick response. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. I don't, like I said, with situations, you always have to step back and take your time with it. I don't want, when you respond to something, it doesn't need to always be stuff immediately. It doesn't always have to be immediate.
Yeah. You
have to take your time and you have to realize what you did on your end.
That's true.
Then go ahead and come forth with an apology. Oftentimes when you have situations similar to that, you're only apologizing because you got caught.
Yeah.
And you're trying to do damage control.
It's damage control, yeah. Now I got to come up with this response to make everybody think that I'm apologetic about it.
Right.
I'm really not. It's just I'm in the public eye. like, or you deny it.
Right,
like
exactly.
Robert Kraft.
Right. I did not.
I didn't do it.
I didn't do it. Exactly. So, like I said, it's all about when we look at the term just being a contradiction. It's always important to remain consistent in what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's always important to remain conscious in what you're doing.
Yeah.
It's always important to be clear in what you're doing.
Yeah.
So there's no misunderstanding.
Exactly.
When you're conscious, you're knowledgeable about something. You have knowledge. You're presenting something.
Yeah.
When you're consistent,
it's the same thing.
You're setting your
like
settings.
you never change it. You set like it's like I told you this the other day. I'm gonna say it again.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's how it has to come across. And then when you say it clear,
ain't no misunderstanding.
You can't misinterpret it. This is exactly what I mean. It's point blank. Period.
Exactly.
So
facts. That's just with any kind of perspective in life. Because like I said, when you're not clear, people are going to misinterpret your words.
Yeah.
They're going to mistake you for a wrong person. They're going to when you're not conscious, when there's no intellect, there's no knowledge behind what you're saying, people are going to take you serious.
Yeah.
And when you're not consistent, that's even worse.
It's
people are going to take you serious.
Man, you switch up every day. I don't talk to
you. Yeah, exactly. So like
that's
I said,
crazy.
The 3 C's to avoid that 1 C.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's true. I mean, looking at it like that, I'll give an example of like times where when I realized that it was contradictory. Like you just gotta like take a step back. Mm-hmm. You gotta take a step back because dang, I did say that, and it don't even be like in a relationship. It be like, let's say we in a group message or something, and I said something, and then somebody bring it back up, and I was like, oh, I forgot I said that.
Damn, you're right.
Hey, you're right. Yeah, I did say that. You got me. You're right. I changed my mind. That's how I feel. That's how I'm feeling today.
Yeah.
That's how I'm feeling today. So, you just gotta take a step back and realize, like, all right, I gotta be more consistent because they calling me out on my shit.
Especially when it's something like super radical.
Yeah.
Like something that you've in the past been so stern about.
And then you change your
thoughts.
And
all of a sudden you change, and it's just like, okay. We're gonna have to need some explanation.
Yeah, I need something behind it, right? Because I can pull back up what you said.
I need some proof.
Exactly.
There's the proof in the pudding, you know. So like I said, contradictions happen in life. Like you said, that was an amazing point you made, just in reference to we grow. So there's nothing wrong with
you gotta grow.
Healthy level of contradiction. Life in general is just a contradiction.
It is, bro.
You're not gonna live by the code, die by the code every day by the book. Bro. There's going to be some principles and some things that you do contradict. Like I said, just keep it at a minimum.
Yeah, it's just certain things in life that change. Like your values change.
Absolutely.
Over like as a child and as an adolescent, you don't really know nothing. Like
right.
you just know what you're told to do, and you follow that.
Facts. Those relationships you have in life,
and you just like you value those and you lean on those.
Mm-hmm.
But as an adult, you start seeing stuff different. Like, dang, they've been telling me this my whole life, and I don't feel that.
Right.
It's not right. I feel like I need to change. So you just grow. You grow every day.
Mm-hmm.
Something you do.
That's why I look back on the high school experience too as like I said, it's an interesting time in your life that you don't realize it in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
So when I look back at high school, I'm pretty sure a lot of the individuals that I had friendships with, or we associated with, are not the same when we look back at our high school experience. So we have that image ingrained in our head. Oh, this person's like such and such. Like I said, we're young.
Mm-hmm.
We're very young, very immature. Yeah. Haven't lived a life yet.
Haven't done anything yet.
And things change. Things happen. So when you look at the growth, the progression you make throughout life, a lot of the stuff will come back and quote unquote contradict a lot of personal beliefs on what you lived. There's a lot of people who probably are strongly against drugs, strongly against alcohol.
Yeah.
But back in the day, they were smoking and drinking and cussing
exactly.
up, doing this and that. So like I said, it's always important.
It's always a thing. Yeah, you just have to like
be careful with judgment.
Be careful with judgment is like no one on this earth shouldn't be judgmental.
Right.
Like you should take in everything and have an opinion about it. But judging someone,
right.
No.
Nah. You got, And like I said,
We're not perfect.
Yeah, I'm not perfect myself. I do judge things. Like I said, in order to make progression in life, you have to make certain judgments on certain situations.
That's
so
true.
it's not bad to judge.
No, it's not.
It's not bad to judge, but to be a judgmental person constantly, a negative Nancy all the time, or this person is this and that. You have to judge in order to move forward in life. You have to judge in order to learn in life. So
and you gotta forgive to move on.
Right, and ingrained within that judgment is empathy and compassion.
Yeah.
Too, because like I said, you don't know what that person went through.
You don't, bro.
Unless you personally know them.
Even then.
Even then.
Because, like, the people you know the most, sometimes you're going through stuff that you don't even know about, bro. Like,
Exactly.
just be like, that's why you just got to pray for them and, you know, check on them when you can, you know.
Exactly. Spread your blessings.
Jensen.
Spread your blessings, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. But I do hate when those people being all up in your business, but not in their own business.
Yeah. The society we live in, people would rather be caught up in other people's business. Like right now, like what's probably the most talked about thing going on right now in like the media?
Right. The relationship with
Tristan and Chloe.
Chloe and Jordan.
Like everybody's talking about it, but we haven't seen no footage. We haven't seen anything. All we've seen is like people going on talk shows, giving their side. One person giving their side. We don't have the truth.
Right.
And to me, when I first heard it, the first thing that came to my mind, I was like, this is a publicity stunt.
It's a freak show.
For everybody to tune in to next season to get their views back, like get even more views. And people feeding into it.
Right.
And they just because somebody unfollows somebody on
that's crazy,
social media,
man.
that they don't fool with each other anymore. Like, well, it's social media.
It's social media. Yeah,
exactly. It's not real life.
You had to like she deleted the number and they cutting off all communication.
Like what for? Like he probably over there now and with his child.
And my thing is, at the end of the day, what does this situation do to progress society in a positive way? It does absolutely not a goddamn thing on this earth.
That's
man.
what I was telling you guys about the other day when I went on this little rant in the group message. I was like, this Black History Month has been ridiculous. Like I don't like it. Like it's been crazy. Like
man.
Between R. Kelly, Jesse, Lion. Like, what's going on? Like, is this what our ancestors died for? Like,
it's ridiculous that amount of, and like I said, this isn't something that's, and the sad part is, this isn't anything that's uncommon in normal society. Like,
it happens.
They're just magnified because they are
the name.
Yeah, they're in prominent, quote, I wouldn't even say prominent position. They're just
their name. Yeah.
You know, it doesn't make any sense to. Just that concept of being in other folks' business and not worrying about yourself.
Yeah, the people that's worried about their business got problems at home.
Right.
As we speak. They ain't focused on what they need to be focused on. Like the people who stay on their phone 24/7. Go work.
Yeah.
Go do something.
Exactly. Do something progressive.
Yeah, like let's be positive.
If you can name me two things out of this situation that have positive that have progressed society, then I'll shut the hell up about it.
Oh, well, we can't do that for the second one. I mean, if anything, it's just got people to know more about Jordan Woods because we really didn't know that she was nothing but Kylie's best friend.
Yeah.
Quote unquote.
True.
I hadn't heard Kylie say not one thing about it.
Mm-hmm.
I hadn't heard nothing but Chloe.
Right.
Tristan hadn't said nothing about it.
I mean,
and Jordan. Why is the person who is in the middle? Tristan ain't said not one thing.
I mean, he showed you his butt a long time ago. So take it for what it's for.
And that's the thing. Like, I don't get why this is such news. Like, she supposedly was dating French Montana while he was still with Trina.
Mm-hmm.
He left his baby mama while she was pregnant. Ain't no real man gonna do no. Ain't nobody who got good.
Ain't nobody who carrying a mother. Ain't nobody carrying a child.
Yeah.
Your child.
You can tell what kind of person he is. Like if he leaving her and she's in the middle of a pregnancy.
Respect women.
Respect women.
Black men don't cheat. We don't claim Tristan.
He Canadian.
Hashtag black men don't cheat.
No, black men don't cheat.
Man, that's crazy. It's just.
But that's the thing.
People give so much energy towards situations that
don't fucking
require it.
People give so much energy to stuff that like doesn't benefit them at all. Right. It just give them laughter. Like people value laughter more than having money in the bank or like making sure their home is straight.
It don't make any sense.
Like I won't even sit up here and be hypocritical or contradictory. I love social media, but it's a time and a place for it. Like if I gotta work, I'm going to work.
Social media though, man, like that is, oh my God. When you look at social media, there's so many pros, but there's also so many cons.
It's a lot of cons, bro.
Man, it's created a whole new level of psychology.
It's addicting. And it's like
cyberbullying.
It gives like people who never had a voice. It makes them feel like, oh, I'm important.
Right.
I'm important. What I'm doing is important. Like, and then with the pro side, like, we use social media to promote everything.
Exactly.
Like,
advertisement,
like all the stuff that we do, for people to watch this.
Yeah.
So it's like, I kind of need social media.
Right.
It's like helping me. It's benefiting me, but at the same time, like you just asked, what is it doing to move the needle forward?
Right. Exactly.
Like, what is it doing?
When I look at social media, I don't, because you hear a lot of the older generation saying, we complain a lot. People are soft and it's different from my time, and I think they lived in a generation that complain. Every generation has complained about something.
Yeah.
I just think our generation we have the platform.
It's more magnified.
Exactly.
It's video. It's video evidence, not like police. Like it's just like we got more access to private things now, and people are like have more opinions on it, and their opinions are getting heard more. But in all of that, all the facts get thrown to the wayside, and it's just like you take it however you want to take it.
We instead of jump to sides.
It's instead of like this is what happened, and you take that. Now we quit like to throw an opinion at some stuff that we don't know anything about. Like nothing
exactly.
About.
Same thing with like sports fanhood too as well. You got a lot of people who are critical and they don't know these folks personally. They don't know what's going on behind the scenes. You see it all the time with just people just spurting out opinions, or you need to fall in line, or you need to do this, or ain't no loyalty no more.
Just saying off the wall shit. Like they don't know people.
It's
like
interesting.
Like Anthony Davis, literally is the most quiet superstar you'll probably see.
Yeah.
He don't get in trouble. His unibrow get more attention than him talking.
He don't cause no
problems
or anything.
His
like
teammates love him. They still love him even after he said he wanted to trade. But now the media is trying to make it like
vilifying.
He's a problem. Get the fuck out of here. He ain't did nothing.
Right.
He doing what's best for him. So what's the problem? This man been going out there playing, getting hurt, like doing everything. Sure, you're paying him, but hey, he bringing you all this money. That's tough, man. Like, yes. And then they would, if Anthony Davis sucked, they'd be quick to shoot his ass out of that and trade.
Right.
Just like Markel. that's probably not the best example.
Right.
But still, like, they told this man he was gonna be the number one pick. All right, we're gonna keep you. As soon as he get hurt, we gotta get rid of this nigga.
Peace.
We gonna get Jimmy. We gonna get Tobias. We gotta get rid of him. It ain't no loyalty in sports, man. They want the players to be loyal. Y'all not loyal to us, and we're the ones out here making your product good.
It's a business, and when you're in the business, you just have to work in the best interest of yourself. But you have to be conscious of your audience, but you have to work in the best interest of yourself.
Yeah.
Stuff that you know that's gonna move things forward, move the needle. You have to, with actions within life, within society, you have to do things that are productive. You can't do nothing that's progressive. You can't have a mindset that's regressive. You can't have a mindset that's indicative of not being positive.
That's true.
We live in a society where the negative is so so much blown out of proportion. You can do 9 things right, but you do that 10th thing wrong.
Everybody gonna forget.
Forget about all 9 things you did right.
That's crazy. Like that's really how society is. Like you make one slip up, it's over with.
It's over with.
People like the perception has changed.
Now, albeit that slip up doesn't need to be inclusive major.
Yeah.
But
it can be minor.
It can be minor, and people still get pissed.
They still gonna vilify you. Like people prey on your downfall. Like they literally do.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's crazy, Jensen.
It's crazy. I just hope as a society we can do better, just in regards to our mindset, our outlook on things.
Yeah.
Just pushing forward, being positive.
We just need to spread positivity, man. There's so much negative. It's already enough negative stuff, man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just all be positive.
Right. Exactly.
Like, and grow up. The difficulty of like love, like hurt people hurt.
Right.
Other people. Like, that's a good quote. Hurt people hurt other people.
Facts, man.
That's crazy. It's true though.
Man, it's with that, like, it's so difficult once you've been hurt yourself to move forward with love.
It is.
I don't understand how people who've been hurt in relationships jump into another relationship so quickly.
Just to hurt the other person.
Right, exactly.
It's crazy. I give a perfect example. Like, I was in college. In college, like, my first year, didn't really date that much. I just, like, had friends who I hang out with. It wasn't dating, though. It just was cool.
Right.
Second year, I started dating, and I got hurt. So I was like, I never, like, it wasn't like, because in high school, I didn't so-called date, but I did have feelings for one person.
Right.
So it was like, man, that hurt, because I had plans with that person. That hurt. That was like the first like real hurt outside of like family issues.
Right.
Like, still. Like, when that happened in college, it's like a switch flip. And I was like, damn, I trusted this person. Now I'm looking like a fool because everybody know. And it's like I'm the last person to know. It's like everybody, you could, like, when you get hurt, you like, dang. And it's like that kind of hurt. When people looking at you, you think they're looking at you differently.
Right.
She cheated on him.
You get paranoid.
Yeah, you get paranoid. It's like, they probably talking about me. Like, why are they talking about me? I didn't do nothing wrong. Like, they knew before I did.
Right. Exactly.
That's what those are thoughts.
Out here looking like boo boo the fool.
Yeah, I'm out here looking retarded. So it's like your mindset change, and you just be like, all right, cool. I'm gonna do it to her before she do it to me. The next girl,
right.
I try to talk to, and that's the wrong mindset.
Hell yeah, that's a terrible mindset.
That's the wrong mindset to have, and I won't even sit up and contradict myself. I've done that a couple of times.
How do you get over that hurt though? Like, how do you heal from your hurt?
Healing from hurt, you just gotta, man, it's tough, man. Like, well, I can't speak for nobody else, but for me, I just surrounded myself with like friends. The first couple of like, and you never get over it. Like, but you're not gonna get over it fast.
Right.
It's a process. Like the last hurt that I got over, it took. Not the last hurt, the one before, like the major one. It was just like, oh, it took a while. Like one thing that you can't do is hold everything in that you're feeling. You gotta like find somebody to vent to, and just have somebody that's gonna give you a good listening ear and great advice. And then when I say great advice, I mean advice that you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Right.
And it's okay to cry. I don't get why people feel like it's like you're a sap or something if you cry. Like, no, like you going from like being under someone 24/7 to like no communication.
Right.
And your mindset has to change because you was all about that person. Now it's over with. And it happens so fast. Like you just be like, what the hell? What happened? Like I remember, like my first real breakup. I was like, Alan, bro, this shit just happened, bro. Like I was just there.
I know.
I literally was just there. Like it's over with. Now I remember calling Alan at like 1 o'clock in the morning. I gotta work at 6. So I'm like, I can't sleep, bro. I just been crying, bro. Like, I don't know what's going on, bro. Like, what's going on? I gotta go to work. And the crazy thing is, like, my manager at the time, she was like 24, 25.
Mm-hmm.
She was at work complaining about, oh, I gotta lose weight. I gotta get into my wedding dress. And I'm on the other side of the spectrum.
Right.
Like, I just got
hurt.
Like, and she was just like, she gave me good advice because she was like, oh, I did that before. And I don't know. It don't sound too good. So I was like, But it's cool though. Like that's just how hurt people move.
Right.
You just got to move on though.
I think too, you have to know the world don't end just because you have problems.
Everybody got problems.
There's a light at the end of the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
I am actually a big believer in there's somebody out there for everybody.
That's true.
No matter how weird, no matter how funky you are, or the type of person you are, good, bad, or indifferent, there's always that person who
gonna get you.
Right.
But you gotta, then like just perfect for you.
Right.
Like
just
they balance you out, and then like they make you happy. They do everything that you've been asking for,
mm-hmm.
and you sometimes like the people who get that, they just be like, "Who playing this trick on me? This can't be true."
That paranoid love, too good to be true love.
Yeah, but it's true though. There's somebody out there for everybody.
Right. You got to make sure at the end of the day, you do have to protect your own self-interest. You do got to protect your own heart.
It's true.
You have to be frugal with your love,
mm-hmm.
but still be respectful.
And I think too, with like the hurt people, it's one of the things that's like tough is to like let yourself get that vulnerable again. Like that's one of the hardest things to do is just like, oh, I did. And then like when you realize you're doing things that you did with the other person, it's like, I already did this. I don't want to do this with her. I want to change it up.
Right.
But it's certain stuff you can't change up. Like you gonna do certain stuff again, like movie theaters, like certain dates.
Right.
Just,
yeah.
Like it's just they just it happens like that. But you just gotta let yourself live in the moment.
Right.
I'll say it, live in the moment.
I to piggyback off that too as well too. I think when people are hurt, your mind and your perspective on things is distorted. You feel like you've lived a lie,
mm-hmm.
especially when you're in a relationship with somebody who at some point
you had intentions of like doing everything with.
Right, exactly. So you reflect back on everything and all their actions, and you think, hey, maybe this wasn't done with genuine intent. Maybe this wasn't done because it was done out of spite, or it wasn't done because you begin to question a lot of things too.
Mm-hmm. And you start thinking like, how long they been wanting to do this?
Right, exactly.
How long they been feeling like this, and how long they been putting up with me? You start to make yourself feel like you're the problem, and in a relationship, it's never one person who's the problem. Like in any relationship.
Nah, like I said,
it's two people, so two people get the blame. And that's one thing I learned too. Like you can't ever put fault on one person. Like both of you have blame, but a lot of times one person has to shoulder that in order, like they have to compromise. Like,
right,
all right, I'm wrong, just so we can move forward and we don't let this linger. Like we gotta move forward. But it's best to like talk. Like talking is essential. That's why when we was talking on the Valentine's Day episode, we was just like, communication is key because people will hold in how they really feeling.
I think too, like I said, when you're getting in a relationship with dealing with previous hurt, it's kind of hard to put your heart on the sleeve.
Exactly.
Because you don't know what this person's intentions are.
Yeah.
You see it all the time. You pour yourself out to somebody,
and they end up like coming back to bite you.
Right. So it's just like people don't always have the best intentions.
Mm-hmm.
Like you pouring your heart out to somebody who just want to hit.
Yeah, that's true.
So
No, honestly, that's really what it is.
So it's like I said. That's why I always say protect your heart,
Mhm.
protect your intellect, and like I said, don't ever get caught up.
Yeah, and
be patient with love.
Yeah, and I'll say this too, like, because I know I got a lot of friends who like come to me and they bring like stuff to me, and I'll say this, like, love is genuine.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people, if you really love someone, you're not going to do anything intentionally to hurt them. And what I mean by intentionally, I mean, like, all right, I'm with Toya. I'm not gonna do anything. Like, I'm not going to be out here in other girls' DMs doing reckless shit.
Right.
I'm not gonna abuse Toya with words like hate. I hate you. You're stupid. You're this. You're that.
The B word.
Yeah, you're acting like a B. You're doing this. You're doing that.
Or the W word.
I want to put my hands on her because no love involves putting your hand on a woman.
Yeah.
It's just simple shit. And then, like, I see it so much. Like, females get into this habit of, like, no, he did it because he hit me because I did this, or he did that because I acted this way. No, he did that and he used that to his advantage.
Right.
And, like, you too blind to see it. And I'm trying, like, when I give out advice to people, I don't just give out advice because I can keep my words to myself.
Right.
I can just keep it to myself, but, like, I can see when people, like, going through stuff, and when they open up to me, I'm gonna give you genuine advice. Like,
facts.
You gotta move forward. Like, forgive that person, and like mentally, like inside, like internally, like forgive him or her, and just move forward. You ain't ever gotta say nothing to that person.
Nope.
You don't ever send out that long ass message like,
da 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 da.
I've been feeling this. I've been missing you. I've been this. I've been that. No, that's a trap, bro. That is a trap. Like, don't do it.
That'll set you back more than what you realize.
Yeah, it really will.
I think too, to placate off of what you were talking about, just love isn't anything where it's domesticated, where you have to put your hands on somebody.
Mm-hmm.
You have to talk down to that person.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the one thing that I always ponder within a relationship is the lying aspect. So, like, at some point or at some point in time within all your relationships, I don't care what nobody said, 100% true. You're not 100% telling the truth all day, every day, all the time. That's the biggest lie.
Bro. That's the biggest lie. That's the biggest lie that people perceive. Like, oh, we've been keeping it 100.
Right.
He been keeping it 100. She been keeping it 100.
You lie to protect somebody's feelings.
You do.
In cases. Now, like I said,
But see, let's clear it up. It ain't like no stupid lie.
I got a family on the side.
Yeah,
it ain't that kind of lie.
It's just like, oh, yeah, let's do that, or I'm gonna say this just so I don't start an argument, and then at a better time, because she's already upset, then we can talk about it. I'm not gonna like tell the truth and be like, I'm really upset, slick, but
or
that
person is kind of right.
Yeah, or like babe, I think you did wrong on this one.
Yeah,
but I ain't gonna do that. no, you gotta see something like that's the thing. You gotta show those emotions and like help your significant other. You gotta like be there for them and pick your spots.
Right.
It's best, like you, fellas, just listen. Don't say nothing. Just listen. And then you just gotta find the right time to say it. Like, you just gotta find the right time to explain what you're feeling. Like, just listen though.
Facts.
Like, listening is key in relationships, fellas.
And you'll get caught up if you're telling the other person what they want to hear. That's a part of the relationship. You can't tell them what you want to hear. You need to tell them
what they need
to know.
Yeah.
What they need to know.
Yeah.
If you're in a position where things are going too fast, and ain't nothing wrong with pulling somebody to the side and saying, hey,
I like you, and I don't want this. I
You
don't
got
want,
strong feelings for you.
I don't want to lose us, but I feel like we're moving too fast. It's a certain way
Way
of
you go
doing
about
things,
it,
and
exactly.
people just go about it the wrong way. It's just that's a part of learning too.
Facts, man. Exactly, man. That loving when you hurt.
That's tough.
That heartbreak is tough, man. It changes you.
Tough.
Some people fold. Some people learn from it. Some people grow from it.
And it's
Some
crazy.
people don't know how to come back from it.
It's crazy because, like, throughout like all of my like situations, it's just like after every one I approach, like after the heartbreak, I approach stuff differently. Like, shit, after the first one, I was just like, I'm just about to go out here and smash everything.
No hope.
But after the first two, really, I ain't trying to do all that no more, man. It's taking all my energy.
Right.
It's not helping me do anything. Like, I'm not growing or nothing. Like, at the moment, I wasn't seeing that. Oh,
Right.
I'm learning. Like, yeah, I don't want that in a relationship. I don't need that in a relationship. This is what I need. I need someone who's gonna keep me straight. I need someone who's gonna balance me out. Like, who's gonna be there for me, who's gonna talk to me. Like, all this other stuff that I wasn't getting.
Right.
So I was like, at the point, when it happened, I just was like, shit, I don't care. And then, like, I just, like, my last two, I just been like, all right, I'm gonna like, not go in thinking about sex. Like, I'm gonna just go in and, like, get to know the person. And my dad had a bad way of making me feel bad about that before I decided to act like that. He was like, son, you know you my son, so I know how you act. I was like, what you talking about? He was like, do you really get to know these people before you start thinking with your penis? And I was like, no, not really. That's how it started, really. He was like, and he just was like, the look on his face, he was like, I hadn't taught this boy anything. But yeah, I mean, I think my stepmom and my dad, because without them, I wouldn't have Toya. And
Yeah.
that's the best thing that happened to me. So
Facts, man. Facts. It's like I said, just a lot of perspective and perception. Just with, like I said, just learning and growing, being positive, man. Like I said, the world has its positive, the world has its negative. It's just being able to learn and grow each day, moving forward, man. And learning, if you get set back, coming back the next day.
you gotta go harder.
Gotta go hard.
Go harder.
Gotta be the best individual you can
It's
be.
always another gift. It's always another gift. Like,
Always.
and shit, me and Alan, like we've been playing underdogs like our whole lives. So.
Alright, man. I'll see you next week.
All right, bro.
Bet we out this mug. Oh, my back. Alright, man. Be easy.
Yes, sir.